Hi, everybody. It's 5 o'clock and I'm on time. I finally figured this whole technology thing out. So, how was your day today? It's beautiful out. It's very sunny. I hope you all probably had some schoolwork inside, but you got to get some sunshine outside. I for one cut the lawn today. I took a break from work and went outside and cut the lawn. Get a little bit of vitamin D in there. A little sunshine always makes everybody very happy. So we're going to continue with our Holy Week in a Box. Now, our box. This is my box. You remember from yesterday? So this is my box. It's pretty small, but it works really well for this project. And what did we do yesterday? We found a Jesus. We figured out how we could have something in our box that reminded us of Jesus. So I used the figure from my manger scene of a shepherd. And that's because, Jesus was a shepherd. We're his flock, right? So he was put in the box. I'm going to put him back in the box. Okay. Now, remember I talked about you could cut him out. You could just have him on paper. This looks like Jesus that we're used to seeing Jesus look like. And this is just a stick figure. So you can use either of those if you don't have a doll, or maybe you can build one out of Legos. We talked about that yesterday too. And then the palms. So I said, if you're going to cut any leaves down, you need to talk to mom or dad. So this is from a plant out at my house. And this is just one I cut out of paper. I happen to have some green paper. You can color some white paper. Miss Kelley does not have crayons, so I can't color. So those are the things that we already have in our box from yesterday. So does anybody know what today is? Today is Holy Monday. Today's Holy Monday. Now, Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday are not really huge days in the week before Easter, but they all still have meaning. There's always something going on because Jesus is taking his journey from Jerusalem, coming into Jerusalem, and then heading into Easter when he rises up. And I've said this before, it's just a beautiful day for all of us, right? So today is Holy Monday. And today we're going to talk about Jesus in the temple. I'm going to read from you from Mark, so you can either read along, you can read this later. What I did today was I posted a picture of our box from yesterday, and I listed the reading as well. So you can go back to that if you need to. But today's reading is from Mark, and it's from chapter 11, 15 to 19. Does everybody recognize our Bible that we use? Okay. It's called Jesus Goes to the Temple. When they arrived in Jerusalem, Jesus went to the temple and began to drive all those who were buying and selling. Now, temple's like church. So can you see people set up and buying and selling things? He overturned the tables of the money changers and the stools of those who sold pigeons, because they were selling a lot of animals. And he would not let anyone carry anything through the temple courtyard. He then taught the people, "It is written in the scriptures of God, my temple will be called a house of prayer for the people of all nations. But you have turned it into a hideout of thieves." The chief priests and the teachers of the law heard of this, so they began looking for some way to kill Jesus. They were afraid of him because the whole crowd was amazed of his teachings. When evening came, Jesus and his disciples left the city. So, I don't know if you heard that story before, but the Holy Week, different things happen with Jesus. He's teaching lessons to us. So what he's trying to let us know is that when we go to church, he called it temple. We go to church, it's a place that we go to pray and to worship and to be with our families and receive the body of Christ, right? So, and we'll hear about that later in the week. But today we heard about the temple. So he ran everybody out. He's like, "Get out of here. You can't be here. This is a sacred place. You can't sell pigeons and goats and all kinds of other things and collect taxes. they were not doing good things in the temple. So Jesus sent them out. But because of that, and people listened to him, they left. And because of that, the chief priests, the elders, which is, the people who run the city and run the churches, they're really afraid of Jesus, and they figure the best way to get rid of him is to kill him. And we know that happens in the end of the week, but there are a lot of lessons to learn before we get there. Okay, so today, remember we talked about getting 3 coins? So we have 3 coins. I had mentioned to you that these 3 coins are from Rome. They're called euros. And I brought those back when I was in Rome 2 years ago. So I'm going to take one of the coins because we were in the temple, remember? And they were exchanging money. So we are going to take our 1 coin, quarter, dime, penny, whatever you have, and we're going to put it in our box, okay? So we're collecting our things for the week. So at the end of the week, we'll see some things in there and it'll remind us of what we learned this week. Okay, so just a little something to talk about with you all. So if you had some money, maybe some extra coins, how could you use them wisely? Okay, so how could you use them wisely? So I know that some of you may bring your quarters or $1, and when you go to church, you give it as an offertory. That's a little different than what we heard today in the temple. They were exchanging money. They were buying things like at a Walmart, something like that. I mean, that's not what belongs in church. But sometimes we give of what we have, and we give to the church to help pay the bills, to help with ministries, to help us have children's liturgy, and to help us have all the other, sodality and the ministries that we have at church that are very, very important. And so what might you do? So you can give a little something to church, right? Maybe you can give it to a group that, especially right now, who's helping out people who are very hungry and don't have any money or have very little money. So there are groups out there that you can support. And you can always talk to mom and dad about that. It's all over the internet, all over the news. That's another way to use your money. Let me see. Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, did everybody take home rice bowls? Now, usually we would take the rice bowls and take them to church on Palm Sunday. But of course, we weren't there. So if you have your rice bowl still, you can continue putting money in that while we're still home. And the next time we see each other at church, you can bring the rice bowl with you. So that's another way to use your money to help somebody who's in need. Okay? So I read a story today about an older lady who went to church, and they were going up for offertory. And it was actually a story from Jesus. So it was in church, but it wasn't in our church. But it happens a lot. So people who have a lot may give a lot to church, right? But it doesn't hurt them when they do that because they have a lot of money. So they can afford to give, so much money to the church, and it doesn't really affect them. But this lady, she gave her last 2 dimes, her last 2 quarters to church. And that was just so important. And we'll learn a little bit more about that later in the week. So this is a short little get together, and we'll go through our box again tomorrow. I am going to remind you about what you'll need for the rest of the week in case you didn't join us yesterday. Just give me a minute. Okay, so we did Monday. Today's Holy Monday. And we did Monday. Whoops. Tomorrow and Wednesday, you need 2 more coins. All right, Thursday. Holy Thursday, also called Monday, Thursday. You need a marker and maybe a piece of paper, marker and paper, unless you can write on your box. I'm not going to write on my box, so I'm going to get an extra piece of paper. And then on Friday, Good Friday, we're going to have a cross and a small white cloth. Okay. And then what I want to show you is some things if you don't have a white cloth. Let's say you have a cloth, but maybe it has flowers on it or something like that. We really want a white cloth. So I just have little towel that I use up in the bathroom to wash my face. But you know what? You can use a tissue. So it's white, right? And it looks like a little cloth, so you can just use that. The other thing you're going to need is a cross that fits in your box. So sometimes we have crosses in our houses, but they're kind of big. So you may not fit that in your box. So I have a small one here that is made out of wood. See? And then I went outside the other day and pulled some twigs. I pulled a little branch and I cut it so that I could make two pieces, one extra long and one shorter. And then I just used a twist tie to tie it in the back. I just kind of strung it around. You can use some thread or a piece of string to do that. And then I'm going to put this into my box later in the week. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll see you tomorrow around 5 o'clock for Holy Tuesday. And I'm waiting for a book to come. So possibly on Saturday, I'll be online reading a book about Easter. But I'm waiting for it to come in. And hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have that. Okay? Love to all of you. Be blessed. Be safe. Enjoy the sunshine. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.